Good afternoon, teachers. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday, January 20th, a historic day, the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris taking place earlier today. Historic in the fact that we have our first female, our first woman vice president. She also is our first vice president who is a woman of color. And, it couldn't have happened at a better time, coming on the heels of Martin Luther King Day, as well as it being the month of February and Black History Month. So just very excited about tearing that wall down, tearing that barrier down, and at least taking some baby steps, if not, giant steps towards progress in this country. A long time coming. No doubt about that. Too long. So, with that said, let's move forward with our agenda. And as always, learning targets at the top. And the first item under our agenda is the review of last week's reading. I won't go over that. That's there for you. Those are my takeaways from the readings that you had last week. And then right below that, we have our readings for this week. And for this week, what I would like for you to do is to read chapter 2 in Horn and Staker's textbook. I would also encourage you to watch the videos that are in the chapter. But as you are reading, I want you to answer the following question. 1, is blended learning a sustaining innovation that offers an important enhancement and improvement to traditional education, to the traditional classroom, or is it a disruptive innovation that's going to ultimately, fundamentally transform the classroom in the future? And then the second question is, which of the models of the blended learning, that are presented in the chapter appeals to you most and why? Also, I would like for you to look over the Iste Standards. Iste is the the number one professional organization in my content area, which actually is instructional technology. Iste stands for International Society for Technology and Education. I have several standards for you there, the standards for students, standards for teachers, educators, standards for coaches, as well as for teacher leaders. So I want you to look over those standards, and then I have a question that I want you to answer for one question for each standard. And I'm not going to go over those. You can look at those. I don't need to read them to you. But what I would like for you to do with both sets of answers is to complete them in a Google document. Make sure that your name's on the Google document. Also make sure that it's set for anyone to edit it, because remember, I oftentimes, usually I make some comments on the work that you submit to me, and have a place on there for you to post your name and a link to your Google document, and those are due next Wednesday. The next item on our agenda for this week is group work. And this week, what I'd like for you to do is to meet with your group for at least 20 or 30 minutes, discuss the pros and cons of technology use that you discussed in your, or discovered discussed in your papers. And what I'd like for you to do in that group is to, as often the case, create a Google document. And then I want you to look for similarities and differences in your discussion. Similarities, because, for example, I'd say that most of you came up with one of the cons being a lack of access. So look for the similarities and differences that you found when you were writing about the pros and cons in your assignment. Also, read your group's top 5. Also record your group's top 5 pros and cons. So once you discuss them, there should be an emergence of these are what we think are the biggest benefits and the biggest negatives or barriers to technology integration, and then just give a brief explanation of why your group came up with each. And then you're going to Make sure that everyone's name in your group is on the Google document. Make sure you set it also so that anyone can edit it, and I have a place there for you to place it on there by the 27th. Excuse me. The next item on your agenda, number 4, is your blog post. At this point, I don't need to go over it probably every week in detail. You're always going to make a post on your blog about the blogger that you're following, the technology expert, hopefully. And then you are going to make a post on your blog about what you're doing in your classroom or what you want to do with technology in your classroom. And then you're going to make a post on 2 of your classmates' blogs. Okay, and you should do that. Try to have your blog post made by Sunday so that your classmates can have time to post on your blogs by over Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I think that that's not a big ask. I think that we could get the blogs done early, and then you can do the other things later if you need to. Just a quick note: if for some reason you have discovered you're not crazy about your blogger that you're following, feel free to pick a new blogger. Just change the name on the Google Doc and just find another one that you like better. Okay, and maybe that comes from what you're reading on your colleagues' blogs. Next item on your agenda is your tech tools for this week. Going to look at 2 tools. Maybe familiar with the idea of each of these tools, but maybe not necessarily the particular tool I'm showing you to accomplish this. For example, people have been adding VoiceOver to Google Slides for some time. In my experience, they have often not worked well. I've often had trouble accessing and listening to the VoiceOver. These 2 videos both have to do with Google products. One has to do, as I said, with putting voiceovers on Google Slides. The other one has to do with putting voice comments on Google Documents. Both of these are huge benefits when we're talking about integrating technology into our classroom, especially as it relates to remote or blended instruction. This could be teacher-centered or student-centered. And we're using a particular tool, as I was kind of referencing earlier when I was talking about this has been going on for a while, but maybe not with this particular add-on. The add-on we're looking to accomplish both of these tasks is an add-on called Moat. I have 2 technologists, influencers that I'm asking you to look at. One is Sam Carey. He runs a website and YouTube channel called New Ed Tech Classroom. And then the other one is Richard Byrne, who's been been maintaining a website called Free Technology for Teachers for, as long as I've been doing this. It seems like it was up in 2008 when I started at Bellarmine. So these are 2, as I said, instructional technology influencers I think that you would be well served to know about. So that is number 5. And then number 6, of course, is the summary of assignments due. Hopefully this page is helping you this time. And just be sure to note that on this page there's a reminder to comment on your classmates' introductory videos that they did. Okay, if you haven't already done that, just to be sure that you do make those comments. Alrighty, hope you had a great day. Hope you had an opportunity to see a little bit of the inauguration that was on. Really, the only part I got to see thus far was Lady Gaga singing the national anthem. I'll watch more of it this evening after I get finished with work, and I hope you get an opportunity to as well. Take care, be well, and I'll talk to you next week.